Speed practice for pros. This is going to be a songwriter's approach. This meme says it best: the unfair life of guitarists. This dude's picking at 260 beats per minute. He just gets a thumbs up from one dude. A nerd lord, no doubt. The guy with acoustic, all he's got to do is say baby, 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 and he gets 8 babes. That's 5 more than he asked for. Here's the truth. Speed is meaningless unless you have something to say. My shred method is all about making music. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to use speed to highlight the emotional content of what you're playing. Now, if you can only finger the G string at 69 beats per minute, it's time to score my free guitar newsletter below. Free tabs, tricks, and tips. Inspiration. Take things to the next level and become a true riff and lead lord with my full music theory course. Composition, classical guitar, songwriting, music theory, and more. What does it mean to practice like a pro? Basically, you gotta have a plan. The truth is, the second law of thermodynamics, or entropy, rules the universe. This essentially says that everything is heading towards a state of decay. Your chops are no exception unless you have a fine-tuned strategy. Really, to accomplish anything in life, it's like swimming upstream, right? You probably noticed this by now. If you just sit back and let life come to you, it's nothing but chaos and destruction. You have to fight to make things happen. If this is what you look like when you're practicing, you're gonna go nowhere fast. Did you practice? I never practice. What are your feelings on the major scale? Who cares? Forget scales. How about some music theory? Music theory is for noobs. Are you familiar with the metronome? The metronome. Have you scrolled Instagram recently? That's my kind of practice. Drunk guitarist improvising his solo. The rest of the band, they're not even on the same ship. This reminds me of myself in my first band. Total disaster. So with the shred method, we have an emphasis on songwriting and composition, but we still want to up our chops and have good technique. The way that you do that is you engineer an exercise that incorporates both music theory, composition, and technique. Basically, it all comes down to targeting chord tones. You can play fast, but if you're not outlining pleasing harmonies and chord progressions, it's going to sound like shit. You have no idea if you're making progress unless you measure what you're doing. It's easy to get caught up in a situation like this meme. When I practice without a metronome, I am speed. And you might think you're playing fast, but then when you actually put it to time and measure it, you're at -69. Now, before you practice, it's important to get in a musical mood. Dial up a tone that inspires you, and don't worry about that guy crossing his arms in the front row. Oh, yeah, that's it right there. Practice is a sacred ritual and not a dick measuring contest to impress other people. So the lick that we're going to use to develop speed like a pro today is a neoclassical inspired lick that I wrote. And you always want to outline a chord progression or some kind of piece of music when you play. So the chord progression we have is D minor, and then we're going to go to G minor, and then there's like this G minor 6. And then, oh, here we go. The resolution, A sus to A, and then we're back to D minor. Here is the lick we're going to be playing in Guitar Pro. You start with a pick on the A string, and then you pluck with your bird finger or your flipper on the D string. Give me the D. Then we've got some hammer-ons and pull-offs in a 2-octave arpeggio, basically. That's the lick. And it doesn't change in terms of the technical execution, even though we're outlining different chords. I put all the articulations and everything in the tablature. You can get that on my Patreon page. It helps to just kind of start out with the basic mechanics. Try the first couple notes. Start adding notes. Now let's work it up to speed. We're going to start at 69 beats per minute. We're going to have a 6-6-6. No, I'm just kidding. Just a 6-beat count in. Are you ready? And then the lick will commence. Here we go. We got to use that metronome, right, to measure what we're doing. And this is how you do it. My hands before learning an instrument. You just got little baby hands, bro. My hands after learning an instrument. It's stone. Suffering is the coin of the realm, my friends. And the way that you get stronger is by exposing yourself to pain and discomfort. Learn to swim upstream. It's more fun than doing nothing. We're bumping up the speed to 80 beats per minute. 6 beats counting. And we're going to get to it. Here we go. The great thing about this lick is it's a piece of music, I'm playing an actual song essentially. And the other thing is that you're getting a chance to work on a variety of different techniques. You're working on your picking, your legato, your selective picking in the style of Tosin Abasi, and then also you got some foul play going on with your bird finger and hybrid picking. Next, we're hitting triple digits with 100 beats per minute, but it's been a long day, I gotta be honest. So cheers to some kicked up WAP juice. Here we go. Oh, I'm infused with power. Here we go. I mean, when you start out, right, it's like you learn that fast and sloppy pentatonic lick, and your little bro, impossible, he's blown away. It's hard to see it, the progression from rep to rep, but others over time are going to notice that you've ascended to the next level, level 69. Now that we've got 100 beats per minute under our belt, we're going to bump it up 10 BPMs. In your own practice regime, you could just go 1 beat per minute if you wanted, if you're working on something really challenging. I'm making larger jumps for the sake of making this video watchable. Here we go, 6 beat counting. I was not ready for that. Let's restart it. Things are starting to get faster, holy crap. I think the lick sounds pretty musical right there. At this point, it starts to get a little bit less musical. People don't really absorb, notes, that many notes at once. But the great thing about this lick is that it looks impressive, basically. It looks more impressive, or it looks like you're playing faster than you really are, essentially. And that's because of the position shifts and the multiple octaves. It's a great, flowing, graceful arpeggio sequence. Now we're going to attempt 120 beats per minute. Are you ready? Here we go. Now you can keep pushing it if you want and just kind of develop some headroom so that when you're playing it at the tempo you actually want to play it at, it feels very comfortable and nowhere near your capacity threshold. Show me what you can do with your fingers. Let's be honest, the babes love a good arpeggio sequence like this. You play guitar? Play something for us. Me. Random bullshit. Try playing this lick next time someone asks you to play, and you're going to score at least 666 points with them. A lot of points. Let's try the lick at 130 beats per minute. 6 beats and we're in. Get tons of exercises like this at my Patreon page. That's where you also get access to all of my courses, tabs, guitar profiles, backing tracks, everything. The best thing about Patreon though is Discord. That's where you can talk to other people who are practicing, going after their goals just like you. Great way to stay inspired and, realize that other people are sharing your struggles. They're people you can relate to. Now I'm gonna go listen to Bach for 69 hours while I drink 6.9 ounces. Let's move it up to 69 ounces of WAP juice. Cheers. Hell, maybe I'll do 420.